What is up, guys? I am BboneCapone, back with another gameplay review, doing some critiques on one of our friends who's in, this is Platinum range, so I'm going to assume SR between around 2600, we'll say, because there is a gold in this game. I'm playing Soldier here. I know that's another Soldier gameplay. I apologize. This is the video I had available. I am going to try and do more of a spread out game to try and get more heroes covered. Right off the bat, though, there's no need to go over there. That was 10 seconds that you're away from your team. You're just kind of, I don't know, it's a waste of a run. And due to you running way over around that side like that, you get separated from your team, meaning you get picked off by the Winston. So, if you would have been closer to your team, that Winston would have been able to single you out like that, and you guys could have turned on him a little easier. One thing that you do not do in this game is that I noticed you don't press tab enough. You do press tab once here, and I'm going to go over team comps really quickly. So, oh, I missed it. Sorry, guys, I missed it. We're going to go back for a sec. So, looking at team comps here, right there. So, I noticed this when I played it, so I'm going to say this, is that it looks like you guys either have a one trick or a troll in the Torbjorn on offense. So, it is a little harder when you guys have to work around that. Soldier is a good pick to try and make up for the lack of DPS you're going to get from the Torb, and you could still win with a off-meta pick. So, I'm not going to say that Torb's a troll pick. It can work on offense, it can work on defense. It's not as effective, but it is possible. So don't ever assume someone's trolling right away, guys, until you see them. Like, if they're intentionally throwing the game, that's different. But I think this Torb is actually trying, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. So we're going to go into this game. You guys know they have a mace. So one thing you guys have to be careful of is you need to not get walled off by her. I don't know how much at Platinum Maze are going to wall, but you need to be prepared for that. So you guys turn, you guys get a nice pick. Okay, you don't get the pick. Right here, this is another unnecessary. You just don't need to run all the way around here. Step off to the side, D.Va's ult passes, get back with your team. You're separated from your team right now. If that D.Va charges you, you die. And there's no question about that, you will die to that D.Va. So you're still separated from your team. Luckily, she doesn't push on you. So you survive the encounter, now you're back with your team. So everyone's trying to push in, they've used an ult, everyone pops sound barrier, and this fight starts. You get out of range of the mail, which is really good, tac visor. So this tac visor is late. So I'm going to show the original and then I'm going to rewind this and show you guys. So you pop it now. Mango's an ice block. You help kill the Winston. That's about it. So if you pop that tac visor, so you run out of the mail, you flip around, and boom. You pop this right here. So if you pop tac visor, what happens is you go, you have one target, two targets. Yes, you have to get through the Winston bubble, but you have two targets right away. And you can immediately go and you can melt the Winston bubble. One, two, you'll pull her out of mech, you'll kill her or force Ice Brock in a bad position. But instead, you wait. Winston bubble's already gone here. Now you pop it. So now she's down to half health. She's almost out of line of sight, so she can ice block in a safe position. She could not do that before. Now she's in a safe position, so you can't do anything with the tac visor. So it ended up being a poor use of ult. So working on your ult usage when you should use that tac visor is huge. The fight continues here. You are spraying a little bit. That was a really nice Helix rocket. I will say that is aiming at someone's feet with the Helix rockets often better. Yes, a direct hit might do 120 damage, but that's a guaranteed 80 to 120 depending on how close you are, so that's still a good hit. So the gameplay is fast forwarded here, guys, so if it looks a little weird at certain points, it's because he has edited this gameplay, so I'm going to make the best of it with this edited. So you guys are pushing up here. Torb's setting up his turret. You need to be aware of the Winston to your left, and so the bubble goes down right, that's fine. You can burn that bubble down really quick because it's just, it can be more of a nuisance and it can be annoying. You guys push up pretty hard here. You pull D.Va out of mech, which is fine. The one thing you need to work on is you do this. Reaper drops behind. He gets one kill. You fall back. So right there, there's no need. There's no need. So you're going to see the Winston here. We're going to turn around when we see the Winston drop. So he drops bubble there. Now you have two options here. You can either A, burn this bubble, burn down this bubble, and focus the Winston. But you already have three teammates in here in 1, 2, 3. They should be able to deal with Winston here. So another thing you can do is you turn to the left and go back to focusing the rest of their team. because you guys are down. You guys are even in kills right now. Those three people should be able to clean up the Winston on their own. You can do damage to other people that are behind Winston and try and keep this fight going. So that's something that I would adjust and maybe look at, especially because you know you have three people here. So you push in on the Winston, which is really dangerous, but you don't die, which is good, so you do back up. I feel like you're spraying a little bit much. You need to be like, yes, you do have a full auto. So I'm going to talk about this again, because you do this a couple times in the video. So when you're playing soldier, your healing thing is not used to save other people. It's to keep yourself alive. So you go here. Mei has frozen her. She is looking to get that headshot off on the Zarya. So you need to choose. You can try and drop your healing field right here at the ground like you do. Or you can try and kill this Mei. Because if you put pressure on this Mei, she has to make the choice. Do I try and save myself by ice blocking, or do I try and finish the kill and be greedy and maybe get my ice block off? So you put her under pressure to make the choice of what she wants to do. Instead, you try and run up and heal him, giving Mei enough time to kill her and save herself and keep herself alive. So as I said before, you need to focus on your Helix rocket usage a little bit. It's a huge 180 burst or 120 burst if you hit it. And you're just kind of spraying it and throwing it randomly. There again, you're trying to save people instead of using your biotic field to keep yourself alive, which is, it's a greedy, but that's how you should be using your field. If someone's near you that needs healing and you can use it, great. So you back up here, you waste Zarya, which sucks because they zoned you with D.Va. Okay, this fight is, you guys are losing this fight, and so you've backed up, so this is good. You've backed up, you're backing away, you're trying to reset, look for any poke and pick you can. Winston overextends, this should be a free kill. I hope you guys kill him. So Winston's, it's right here, so that was greedy. That was really greedy to chase the Winston. You should have turned around and focused on that Reaper, because you need to make that Reaper back off, because he's the threat. The Winston's not a threat, he isn't going to be a nuisance, but he's not the threat. I don't know why Reaper's there. I don't know why you went up there. I'm going to assume there's a call out that I couldn't hear. But that was very odd that you randomly went up there. But that's okay. So it works out. You push Reaper back. So you're looking for high ground here. This is okay. The problem with this is that the cart's not pushed up enough and your team doesn't have enough presence without you to make this effective that you can put pressure from up here. So you've already had a teammate die. Your teammate's getting pushed back to spawn right now. And so we're going to look at the clock. It is a minute 27 right now. You are going to sit up here, and you fast forwarded. You sit up here for 30 seconds, I think. Your team's dying right now. You can look in the top right and see your team's dying constantly. You've been up here for over 30 seconds, 40 seconds. This is a huge waste. Like, yes, it's good position, but your team hasn't been able to recuperate. So finally, you try and make a push here. Now, this does not work because you didn't kill the Mercy. And you know there's a Mercy in the game. You saw her. You took a shot at her. You didn't kill her, though. Because you didn't kill her and then you pop Tac Visor, everything you just did is undone. Your team's now trying to force a fight because you got 2 picks, and you do end up getting a couple kills here, and then this. Don't ever push that close to a Reaper. Come off the backside, so I'm going to show you right here how you could have killed that Reaper. So you pop Tac Visor, you force the res, which is fine. Not really the best use, but that's okay, it works. You guys end up getting a couple kills, so this is good. So you guys are starting to look like you're going to win this fight. And then right here, you can go drop off the back, and you can still hit the Reaper that's going to be right around here. Instead, in this way, you're out of his effective range. His effective range is like, we're going to say here. This is his effective range. And you're going to be somewhere back here, out of his range, outside of his effective range that he can kill you. Instead, you run onto him and are 2 feet away from him, and he murders you in 2 shots. So you need to understand, Soldier's good at mid-range. He's good against Reaper at mid-range. Do not get in a Soldier's face. Or I mean a Reaper's face. So their Reaper is cleaning you guys right now, and you need to deal with that. Last 5 seconds, everyone's going into panic mode. Okay, you run out. This is fine. You're actually trying to get on points. This works. You're going to die for it. But you do give your team time to get on points, so I can't say I'm going to be mad at you for that. Your team is on point trying to fight. You're rushing back. This is no problem. Soldier's pretty good at getting back to point. You get Diva out of mech. This is good. You need to finish the Diva. So your tracking you need to work on because you spray a lot with Soldier. I'm not going to tell you the tracking. I'm not going to talk about tracking again other than this time because tracking is something that purely comes with time. And on getting better at the game and learning more, you get better with tracking. I'm never going to tell you that practice tracking because that just comes with playing the game. So you guys managed to win this fight. This is good. So one thing you still haven't done is check tab. And if I'm paying attention, I believe that you guys are only running one tank right now and triple DPS against their team. That is not super effective. The reason why this specific comp that you're running is not good against theirs is because they have a Diva. And Diva she's not affected by how many people are hitting her defense matrix. It's a timing thing. So you get a nice little high ground flank here. This is really good. The only problem with this flank is, well, there wasn't really a problem with it. I can't say the issue you need to be careful of is that you need to be aware of where your team is because if Diva and Winston had chased you up there and come at you as a team, you would have gotten destroyed. It worked out. You made some really nice cleanup kills, and your team's pushing well. You've killed 3 of them. You know your team has an advantage, and you're doing this. This is really good. You're trying to keep them off getting back to the payload by zoning their 2 supports. This is really good. If you don't die, which you don't, this is good. That's a wonderful play right there. You're keeping them from getting back to the payload so you guys can get that checkpoint. That was really good play. I really like what you did there. So very good. You still need to continue to burst fire a little bit more on Soldier. You're spraying a lot, and that increases the spread, makes it so you're harder to hit your shots because of the spread, the bloom. But overall, you're doing pretty good here. Focusing the Diva is fine there because she's the only contesting cart. Back off around the corner. Stay back, stay back. You're doing this too much. Is that Soldier's good at medium range. Soldier is not, like he is effective somewhat at close range, but you are going like Reaper range. If you want to play this close to people, you need to switch to Reaper. You need to play a little bit safer. You're really far pushed a lot, and it leads to some huge problems. Flanking on Soldier is not a bad thing, but as Soldier, you need to focus on being with your team. Once again, you're flanking with Tac Visor, which can work. Like, I'm not saying flanking with Tac Fire doesn't work. It's not the best thing. There are more effective, if you're with your team and you have some more support, it can be better. But at this elo, you're making it work. I'm not saying it's an awful thing. It does work. Reaper literally saves that fight for them. Once again, you're getting into Reaper's range, which is partially because you guys are trying to push the cart and they only had 2 of them up. I get that. One other thing I noticed, and I'm seeing this here again, is that Ana, you need to communicate with your Ana. And if you guys aren't using mics and you aren't in comms, that's fine. But if you're going to communicate with that, at least ping, my ultimate's ready. Show that ping so that maybe she's going to ping, my Nano Boost is almost ready, or my Nano Boost is. You can combine those to make one of the most devastating ult combos in the game. There's not much I can comment here. This is kind of just a giant mess of trying to stay alive, and it's not like you can position better. You need to stay on point. I get that. So you're doing what you can here. You're dodging pretty well. You do end up falling, and the round ends. So overall, not too bad. You need to flank a little bit less with Soldier. Soldier is not a flanker. Soldier is a backline DPS. He needs to stay with his team, stay behind his tanks, work with that. So this is good. You could have done this last round, but you chose not to. You obviously felt you're doing well in Soldier. You could have switched to a tank to help out your Diva, because you only had 1 tank in that game. But you go to Reinhardt here because you still only have 1 tank. So they also have a Reinhardt. Right off the bat, their Reinhardt goes really aggressive. You need to pin him. So I'm going to rewind this and show you guys. So they do this. Okay. So you look for a fire strike, try and get some free charge. That's fine. Nothing crazy here. They come pushing on. You do have team support. You're in an okay position here. Rein charges you. So we're going to stop right there. So right here, Rein has charged you. If you charge him, he dies right here. He has no teammates over here. He has no support until way over there. His teammates are not close to him. He has no help. He has no healing. He is on his own. You need to charge him into this wall because he's going to try and come back. So you need to aim your charge right here. Charge him into this wall and kill him, giving your team the advantage for this fight. So if you do that, this fight's won right here. But instead, you shield and let him go back to his team. That was a free pick you had, and you could have easily cleaned that up. That was a really aggressive charge. You had team support, so it's not the end of the world. You missed it, which sucks. That's something that just comes with practice again, is of playing Reinhardt, is getting used to that team support and hitting those charges. You're letting your shield recharge right now, which is fine. Your team just needs to know that. Looking for 5 strikes, fishing for that. That's okay. Um, don't push up too far here. Okay, you get booped, so that's okay. Now, May has a wall there. Okay, the wall wasn't effective, so it didn't really... That's fine what you did. You just stayed in defense. Really nice shield. But I felt like it was more... It just happened to be there. You're swinging randomly. Right here. Right here. So, you have Lucio ult right now. You have that here. You have 700 health at this very moment. There's no need to have a shield up here. Force a fight here. Go and swing at someone. Charge. Well, they all backed off now, but you could have easily forced a fight here. And right here, you just kind of walk at them and take a bunch of free damage. Oh no, you do try and charge the Lucio. But now you're in a really awkward spot. Now you're separated from your team because of that charge. You overextended, and then that. That is a waste of your ultimate, especially because you missed the charge again. I'm assuming you don't play a lot of Reinhardt, but that's something you need to practice if you want to play any Reinhardt. You need to practice hitting your charges, because hitting your charges as Reinhardt is what makes or break, is one of the biggest things for Reinhardts. Due to you using your ult in that aspect, and how you did it, so this is all fast forwarded because you die again. So, I'm going to pause it for a second. I'm going to rewind. So you, where are we? Go back a little bit more. Okay, so you're here. You Earth Shatter. So, who do you get? You have 1, 2, and Pharah's up here. You did not hit her with the Earth Shatter, though. You are at 3. You have a Mercy behind you, so you have some support. But it is still a 2 versus 3, which you lose at the end of the day. You lose that. You'll never win that. So you could have saved your Reinhardt ult here and either died or just backed off and used it at a better time, because this is now technically a waste of an ult. You don't even kill the Reinhardt. You get greedy with an extra swipe, miss the charge, and now you're stuck. He has more support. Pharah ults you solo. And Mercy, your rest of your team gets cleaned up here. Right away, you've seen 5 people die here. Or 4 people die here. You have 2 people left on point. They've had no one die. Don't try and go in here. Never try and go in here, guys. Always back up, reset with your team. Because now you die again. Now you're in a trickle mode. And luckily the rest of your team backs up. But now you're really far away from your team. So you need to try and recap. 2 more people have died again. Another person dies. You guys are just trickling kills right now. This is how you lose games right here, guys. You're still trickling kills. You have been grouped up. You need to keep falling back. You need to drop your shield and run. You need to charge away. Not try and do anything else, because guess what? Just because you have a Mercy with you doesn't mean you're unkillable. You can still die very quickly. You still don't have a team here. You're starting to get members back. Now you have some help. Your shield is... One other thing, guys, is make sure you do not let your shield fully break. If your shield fully breaks, that's 5 seconds you don't have your shield. Let it get low, but then let it recharge. Do not let it break. Your team is still dying behind you, so you're not shielding in the right spot. Huge Earth Shatter. This would be great. I think you guys have some support here. I saw Roadhog going in. You get 1 kill. Roadhog, or someone picks up one right here. Hang on. Okay, we're going to back up for a sec. Again. So you kill the Diva. This is good. Good charge. Did you not see the Mercy? Do you still not see this beam? Right here? There's a Mercy in here. Ignore this. Ignore the Reinhardt. He cannot kill you fast enough that you can't kill Mercy. Completely ignore that Reinhardt. Get in there and kill that Mercy. Because she gets a res now. And she's still healing this Reinhardt. Yes, she still is. You're never going to win that fight. Now you turn on the Mercy, which is good finally. You get really separated again, though. Your team cleans up, luckily, because you drew a lot of attention. As Reinhardt, you cannot get separated from your team like that. Because Reinhardt, yes, is a very good tank. Yes, he can take a lot of damage. But he relies on having a team behind him to be effective. You're not with your team enough. You get ahead, you charge. You have this mentality that you're going to go solo and flank and kill everyone by yourself. You need to be with your team more. They pop sound barrier. You guys back off a little bit. This is fine. Fair ults. Nice hook by the Roadhog. That's a good ult. So that was a really good ult. That was a good reactionary ult to what they were running. You got a really nice pickoff. Your team had support behind you. Now right here, one thing you need to work on doing is you need to try and shield your team, because right there someone died. May died to that deval, and you could have shielded that instead. Yeah, I know it breaks your barrier, but you could have shielded that ult and kept that May alive maybe. You guys would have won the fight, so it's not the end of the world now. But you should be shielding those ults. Especially when you can save your teammate if you think they're a threat. Reaper comes in behind solo, doesn't really get anything. Now they're trickling. So you see how the trickle makes the difference? That they haven't come in as 6 yet. They're coming in 1 or 2 at a time. You are separated. Luckily, you're coming back to your team this time. You're still on your own, though. You're pushing up on your own too much, and you don't have the support of your team. Yeah, like, you can do damage, but you're not going to win this. The Mercy's going untouched because you can't focus Mercy because you're never going to get to her. You need team support to kill them. Roadhog is coming in. That was a very panic ult, I felt. There was no one really there, and you don't have the team support here again. You're too far away from your team again. You need to be near your team. I never see teammates coming up with you. I never see anyone in front of you, ever. Which is fine to a degree, but you need to work with your team a little bit more and be a little close to them, especially as Reinhardt. Nice sidestep. The other thing you can always do as Reinhardt is when you see a Reinhardt charge, if you can be quick enough, is to go back and charge right back at him and nullify charges. Right there again, though. You're not with your team. You're fighting Reinhardt for some reason. That's just a waste of a battle. You need to be protecting your team. That's Reinhardt's first job, is protecting teammates. So you need to be more aware of where your team is. You can't just be like, oh, well, I'm going ahead, so my team should follow me. You need to be aware as well. You're getting ahead of yourself a little too much as Rein, and yes, Battle Rein can work, but you need to be aware of where your teammates are. Now you do have a bit of a team behind you. You're holding pretty well for losing. You do finally die, but your team is fighting them anyway. I don't know who's winning. Looks like you guys are losing this fight. You get back. May gets a beautiful ult. Holy Dinah, that was a really nice May ult, and that probably won you guys the game. Right there. Yeah, it did. So, nice. That wasn't too bad, actually. So, that wasn't awful. I've seen a lot better, a lot worse. So there's a lot of things you need to work on here. You had some really great plays, with your flanking stuff, and you looked really good. But you also had some plays where you were very away from your team. You went really Rambo and really solo. And to an extent, that can be effective, but as you climb the ranks, those solo plays get picked off a lot quicker on someone who's not, like a Genji or a Tracer that has their own get-out-of-jail card. Like as Soldier or Reinhardt, you can't get away if you get caught behind enemy lines, or if you're not with your team, no one's going to save you. You're going to get left to die. And yes, it worked at this rank, and you did pretty well as Rein and as Soldier, but you need to work with your team more. I felt you were really separated a lot of the game. You were kind of doing your own thing and just doing whatever. And as you climb the ranks, that's not going to work anymore. But overall, pretty good gameplay. I hope everyone liked that gameplay. If anyone else has any comments, concern, if you guys like what I did with this little bit of a change I'm doing to see if the visuals are a little more effective, please let me know in the comments. Give me a like. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed my gameplay. There'll be more coming shortly. Thank you guys very much for your time, and have a great day.